Hello and welcome to Black Man Working. I'm your host, Leanna Davis. Black Man Working is a show that features hardworking black men here in the Mid-South area. Today's guest is Mr. Stephen Douglas. How are you today, Stephen?
I'm doing excellent. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for being a guest.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Stephen, if you don't mind, we're going to jump straight into the show.
Go ahead.
Cool. Tell me about yourself.
My name is Stephen Douglas, of course. I am married. I am 32. I have two little girls. Love them to death. Age 5, age 1.
Oh.
I do we do A Plus Mobile Technology Repair. I do that with Anthony, my business partner, and I also run a daycare in home.
Wow, a home daycare.
Yes, ma'am.
So you don't have to send the girls out. Well, I'm sure your 5-year-old is probably getting ready for kindergarten.
She is actually in senior K at Great St. Luke's right now.
Senior K.
Yes.
Now, what's the name of your daycare business?
It is called Dad's Time.
Dad's Time.
Yes.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's cool. You don't hear about many dads that really invest into the child's daycare and things like that.
I hear that a lot.
What were your past jobs?
Just my very first job, I was 16, and it was McDonald's. I loved it.
Me
I
too.
loved it. I actually got hired by the store manager of the restaurant at the time, because I used to walk back and forth past the school a lot. It was weird. I was one of those kids that I walked past, and if it was like stuff on the ground, I kind of see the guys out there picking it up, so I'll stop, help pick it up.
Yeah.
And they used to actually give me breakfast food and then lunch after school when I was coming by. And one day the manager saw me coming by. She said, "You are here a lot. I see your face a lot. Would you like a job?" I said, "Sure." She said, "Come back by after school and we'll finish discussing everything at that point."
Wow. So just your work ethic, not even really being employed, got you employed.
Exactly.
Wow, that's awesome. How did you feel when you got that very first paycheck?
It was one of the greatest feelings in the world to me, especially with my mom. I kind of grew up in a single family home, of course. Not just because I didn't have a dad, he was there. It's just my parents, they just didn't get along. I still ended up with another father figure, my stepfather, but he was more on that you are becoming a man age 15 to 16, so you got to start earning your worth.
Yes.
So I guess once I got that first check, it was like an overwhelming feeling. First thing me and my friend did when we got that money is we got together, said, "Hey, I got my first check, you got your first check." That was awesome. We took our money, put it in the bank, and we went straight to the Mall of Memphis.
Wow. So I can imagine y'all bought clothes, shoes, games, whatever you could buy.
Everything that we thought that we wanted up until that first check, we just went and started trying to buy it. My very first, I guess you can say, name brand outfit at that time, I remember it, the baggiest, biggest shorts and the biggest t-shirt I could get, and it was a Johnny Blaze outfit.
Johnny
it was the
Blaze.
funniest thing ever.
Wow.
I remember that.
Yes, I remember Johnny Blaze too.
Yes.
So why did you leave McDonald's?
It was just I think when I finally left McDonald's, because I was there maybe 7 or 8 years on and off. I ended up graduating college from Southwest. That was my first degree. It was in business and management, and I actually got a job as a store manager right off the bat for Dollar General at that time.
Wow. Good. So tell us, what do you do now?
Me and Anthony are building this electronics repair company. Looks like right off the bat with our own hands, and it's awesome. We love it. Technology has always been a passion. I was one of those little boys when I got my very first game. Parents didn't notice, didn't see it. When something went wrong, of course they wasn't gonna fix it because you got it. We're not spending no more money. So I kind of broke it down myself, trying to figure out what it was and put it back to myself. Luckily, it actually worked when I did that. So, and the daycare, that's a second passion that I have. In my mindset, I want to be the change that children be able to see.
Yes.
Because it's kind of a lot of kids are kind of just getting lost in the system, especially within our culture. So I kind of want to make sure I'm at least putting my part into making sure that they're getting the proper education, the proper growth from the ground up. Because my age, accepting age is 6 to 10 months.
I did a little work for the Urban Child Institute, and I was involved with the Touch, Talk, Read, and Play program. And the philosophy was all children from birth until about 4 years old, their minds are like sponges. And so you have to touch them in a sense of hugging and nurturing. You have to talk to them like you would talk to an adult. You will have to play with them and read to them. That builds their mind. And so I really love what you're doing with that daycare. Tell me, what are some challenges that you face with the daycare business?
With the daycare business, the biggest challenge, and this was just kind of like an internal challenge that I thought I would run into a lot, is like you said, being a man and trying to be a nurturer. Because by nature, you're taught, you're groomed to believe that the woman is a nurturer. The man is just the one that's going out and doing all the work, trying to bring in all the money, just to do all of the, the biggest responsibilities to try to cover the needs for the household financially. Of course, with the daycare, I do that as well. But it's just something else about, like you said, being able to interact with children on a different aspect from what you're used to. When I sit there and I watch them, it's amazing. It's literally like watching little people just with no English language.
Wow. Yeah, with the goo goo gaga, the baby language.
But to them, it's actual talking. It's actual interactions. They're actually having conversations. We just don't understand it.
Wow, that's amazing. This is going to be an amazing show. You stay tuned. Stay in your chair. Unfortunately, we have to take a break, but we will be right back on Black Man Working.
Jessica, we need to leave right now.
I need to get something. Dance recitals are so boring.
There's a meaning no one knows. Wait until they set
So,
free.
what's the empty suitcase for?
The grand prize trophy.
Duh.
Confidence. Pass it on.
I was born to be somebody.
Sharing. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
TTEN.
Welcome back to Black Man Working. We have a great show ahead of you. Today's guest, Mr. Stephen Douglas, is one of the co-founders of A+ Technology Mobile Repair. So you repair technology, right?
Yes, ma'am. Cell phones, tablets, laptops. If it has a battery, we'll be willing to look at it and fix it.
Wow. Does that involve gaming consoles?
Yes, ma'am.
I hear a lot about these PlayStation 4s and stuff like that. I don't know anything about them, but y'all can fix them?
Yes, ma'am. The most common issues with your PlayStation 4, especially if you have one of the ones when they originally came out, is the HDMI port kind of goes in and out, and that's the connector from the game to the TV. That's what gives you a picture.
Wow. Okay. Well, look, you just told me a lot I didn't know anything about. Well, Stephen, now I want to switch gears, okay? Because I know you work in two different businesses, and I want to know about women in the workplace.
Yes, ma'am.
With more women in the workplace, do you find yourself being approached often? Now, I know you're a married man, but I want the honest truth now.
I mean, being married does not necessarily say that stops. It still happens. It happens with me in the repair services and the daycare. It happens a little more than often just because you have that more sensitive side that you see as a nurturer being a man, and it's kind of like uncommon, so it's a mystery to women. Like, why? What makes you want to do this instead of the getting your fingers dirty and the grit and grind like most men?
I can see how that can maybe be attractive to women. Now, I don't have kids myself, but I can think about women who have kids. One of the first things that they say is that they want to find a man who likes kids. So so you have some unknown, invisible attraction to you just based off that daycare.
Yes, and it's nothing that I'm doing, nothing that I'm trying to do intentionally. It's like you said, they see that the interactions with children, and it gives them that idea of what, their child will be like with, their male figure or their father.
Have you ever dated a woman where you worked?
Yes, in McDonald's when my very first job. It was not awkward, it wasn't bad, but it was very distracting because there was literally almost no work getting done when we were in there together. I won't tell a story on that part.
Well, I want to know some stories. You know what? I really want to know some drama. Do you have any drama?
About that, in McDonald's, it was drama all the time.
No names, no time frames. But give me something that happened.
Oh man, one of the biggest things was being at McDonald's. You work around. In that time, I actually did work with a lot more women than men. So you do have the instance where, like I said, I'm dating a woman. She see you interacting with another woman, and it creates a problem. What are you talking about? What are y'all doing? That's not related to what you're supposed to be doing right now. So in some instances, they kind of try to keep us separated, two areas. I was the grill cook, she was in the front as a cashier. But of course, we also had other female grill cooks. Yeah. So in that time, I'm not interacting with her. I'm kind of back here with the other grill cook. So to her, it was a problem.
Yeah, like why y'all laughing?
What's so funny?
I know she was looking back because I worked at McDonald's and I started off at the back window in the back, but they moved me up to the front counter. And so it's easy to look back and see what's going on in that grill and what y'all laughing at and what y'all talking about and let me go and make sure y'all got some nuggets. So now she walking around back. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. It was nothing going on. It's just in her mind. You giggling too much because that's we giggle, we laugh, we tell the secrets. You're not supposed to be doing that with nobody else. Wow. So I get it.
Yeah, I understand. Now tell me, what do you think about black women making more money than black men?
That is a very interesting concept to me to me personally. I don't have an issue with it. I'm married, so at one point in time, it's not hard for me to admit my wife was making more than I was. But that was going according to the initial plan we had set. Okay. So, of course, I went to college first, me being older. She went to college next. I got established as, the manager at Dollar General, like I said at first. But then in my mind, I wanted more. So, of course, once you want more, you have to do more to get it. So, education-wise, I went back to school. Going back to school, that's a big dip in my side of the income. Oh, yeah. So, that means she had to step up and take over that part. And it worked great, no problem. It never became an issue for her. She's never wanted to throw it over my head and say, hey, I need you to try to, get something going because I want to be at home. I want to sit at home. I want to be able to do this and this, and you need to start picking up the money. It was never a problem. It worked out in our favor. We had our first child. I became more of the nurturer. That's when the idea about, running a daycare eventually at one point in time came about.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm still stuck on the whole daycare idea because it's just rare that we find men that open daycares. So that's great that you and your wife had that great relationship where there was never a problem, because you think that at some point she was like, come on now, I'm tired of doing all this working. I done had a baby. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. What are you doing?
And to her, it was never about, what am I doing? Why am I not doing more? She was missing out on that part of the nurturing for the little ones. Because, when, right when she got pregnant, while we got pregnant the first time, I was just now transitioning into a marketing company that I started working for. I loved it. It was great. Traveled a lot. Got to learn a lot of new things. Meet a lot of new people. So of course that's when I started picking up my part of the income again. But she had gotten so caught up in that career aspect, she just was never letting go of that go-getter attitude. So she was probably out after we had the first little one, maybe just enough time, and then she was right back in there again.
Wow.
So again, we had to alter. At that point in time, I ended up sacrificing a potential, career opportunity for myself because she already had one established. So it became, do I want to take the risk and go there, uproot us, go there and say we may be able to get it going, or do I just come back and let her take where she was going and let me come back to the household, let me step back up where the routine until I finish and I got what I really wanted to do.
Well, it seems like y'all had a really great plan. When we come back, Stephen is going to tell you all about how to get out and work and what you need to do to get out and work. We'll be right back on Black Man Working.
They say I'm a bad kid.
Or a charity case. A troublemaker.
Worthless.
There are more than 3 million children in America's child protection and justice systems. Kids who have been abused, neglected, traumatized. Kids who act out. The worst cases you can imagine.
They say I'm messed up.
A drain on society.
Just a stupid mistake.
For their safety and others, some of these children have to be removed from their homes. Separated from their families, they're at the mercy of an overwhelmed system.
I don't think I'm a lost cause.
I'm just a kid.
Youth Villages believes that no child is a lost cause, not a single one, because a stable, loving family can help any child succeed. And we have an 80% success rate that proves doing whatever it takes for children is the only thing that works. If you agree, find out how you can help at youthvillages.org.
Oh! Your fault. My fault? Your fault. Your fault.
You're right.
What?
It's my fault.
What do you mean your fault?
Just the two of us. You're right, it's my fault.
We can make it.
Maybe both of us?
Maybe just you.
TTEN.
Now, Stephen, this is the part of my show where I want you to look directly into the camera, because we have men sitting at home watching this show. They watch it every week. They want to know some tips to get out and work. Give them some words of encouragement.
Man, the biggest thing for me that I can say is, one, don't be afraid to get up and go for that job that you think you're not qualified for. You never know who you're going to come in contact with. And the truth is, it is not always about what you know. It is about who you know out there in the industry. Get up, make those network connections. Those friends you had from childhood times that grew up to become something a lot more. You just got to have that attitude and say, I want more, I want to do more, I want to have more. If you can't get out and go work with somebody, for somebody, make yourself out as an individual to go create jobs for yourself. It's not hard, but it does take motivation to get up and go, because it's just long hours.
That's some good motivating words. Great motivation, because you may not want to, but you have to get out there. Sitting on the couch watching my show, you get some good tips, but if you don't use them, what are you doing, man? All right? Well, listen, I want to know, how would you respond to a man who says, I took your tip, Anthony. I went out there, I applied for a job, I interviewed, and I'm trying to figure out how to get the job. They said they're going to pay me $7.25, but I feel like I need to get $20. What would you say to the man who refuses to get a job because it's not enough money?
In some instances, you just have to take that first step, because they may offer you $7.25 initially, find out your work ethic is beyond that, and say, hey, you've been doing this much. I see you're great. You have a great attitude. You have a great work ethic. You definitely are worth more. So what we're going to do is, we might not be able to give you 20 now, but if you continue on the path you're on, you can definitely get it later.
Yes.
So I wouldn't say, turn it down or decline any offer just because you feel like it's a demeanor to your character.
Yeah.
So, just take it right now. You don't know what it can lead to.
Yeah. And then, you sitting at home with $0 right now, right? Okay.
So you can do a lot more with $7.25 versus $0.
Yes, I agree, Stephen. So do you feel pressure to perform better than any other race?
Pressure, I'd say yes. Just flat out, yes, I do. Depending on where you're at, what you're doing, what industry you're in, there's going to always be someone who's going to look at you based off of your appearance and think you probably are not qualified, or you're not going to be able to do what this next person can do, just based off of race, culture alone. And it's a stereotype that's out there, one of the stigmas that I myself am fighting very hard to try and change.
Yes.
Just because you see me, my outward appearance, the color of my skin, whatever, maybe the clothes or something that you see on my back, and you think he's probably not going to be able to do the job that I'm looking for, and you lose out on the opportunity. You don't know. I could be a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
So I say, be a little bit more open-minded. Yes, I do feel like there's a lot more pressure on me just because of my race.
I mean, I'm looking at you right now. You're black. You got dreads. I mean, you got on jeans. You look like you're a part of a fraternity. How can I trust you to repair my television or my mobile device that I have? Why should I trust you?
Trust. I mean, if it's just like a new interaction, it comes off. You have to build that rapport from the beginning, from the very first meeting. I'm gonna be very professional about my, even if the attire that I have on, it may make you seem like it's a little sketchy. The moment we sit down and start verbalizing our issues, right then you should already know, hey, this guy is not what he appears to be, so let me hear him out.
Yes.
Let me hear what he has to say.
Yes.
And the more the interaction goes, the more you realize, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. Because I went to the person down the street, they gave me a quick synopsis. Hey, this broke, $70, this, that. I'm going to make sure I'm going to give you the full rundown of what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know how to do it, I don't mind showing you. That doesn't take anything away from me. But I want you to understand everything I'm doing so you'll know for yourself.
What are some skills that the younger generations need to have outside of the actual physical working skills? So as far as common sense and patience and respect, what are some skills the youngers need to have?
The biggest one is respect. The next one is patience. But for me, I would say the biggest tools in today's industry would be going out and understanding how to work business, marketing, strategic planning. All of those things will equate to you being able to go very far in life. Even if you don't have the necessary, hand skills to be able to work, you have the mindset to be able to put it in somebody else's court to say, hey, I have the idea, I have the plan, I just need help with somebody implementing it.
Great advice. What would make you quit your job? Any situations or people or amount of money? What would make you quit?
As far as what I'm doing now, I wouldn't say there's any amount of money that would make me quit just because I'm passionate about it. Mm-hmm. Previous jobs, like you discussed, drama. I can't do drama. If it's too often, if it's too much, and a lot of times it's built off lies, I can't deal with it.
Now, what about that one parent that comes to your daycare that's just, she always got some drama or she always got something going on?
And that happens, and it does happen. But for me, it's never about the parent and their mindset. As long as they understand what I'm doing for their child is valuable. Mm-hmm. My interaction with them can be just the worst thing. But when it comes to the child, if you know that you have quality, you may not like my price, you may not like where it's located, you may not like some of the things that me and you talk about or what I've said to you, but you see that I'm being respectful, you see results within your child. Hey, my child has come home, he's doing this, he's doing that, she's doing this, and these are things that she wasn't doing or he wasn't doing initially, so I love what you're doing. Great. We're going to keep their professional relationship just about the child then.
Just about the child. Good. Stay professional, stay about your business. Here comes the worst part of the show again, everyone. We got to take a break. We'll be right back on Black Man Working.
You! Oh! Your fault. You!
My fault?
Your fault. Your fault.
You're right.
What?
It's my fault.
What do you mean your fault?
Just the two of us. You're right, it's my fault.
We can make it.
Maybe both of us?
Maybe just you.
Your time is gonna come. Your time is gonna come. It's up to you to reach out to be that friend who comes along. Your day is gonna come.
When you make a friend, you make a difference.
Your day is gonna come.
Friendship. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
TTEN.
We're back on Black Man Working. If you're just tuning in, you have really missed an amazing show. My guest today, Stephen Douglas, he is one of the co-founders of A+ Technology Mobile Repair, and he even founded his own home daycare. What's the name of the daycare?
The name of the daycare is Dad's Time.
Dad's Time. Oh, it just touched my heart, child. I'm sorry. So I'm done with all of the professional questions, okay, Stephen? I want to know more about you. What are your hobbies?
My hobbies, I will not lie, I am a very avid gamer when I do get the chance. I'm online a lot, and a lot of times it's very late just because, you know, we have the repair services and I have the daycare going almost all day. But I'm very well into online gaming. When I'm not doing that, of course, my two little girls, they take up every other ounce of time that I have.
Well, that leads me into my second question, at which we had already answered, relationship status. We know that you're married with two beautiful little girls. What are their ages again?
5, the oldest, and 1 for the youngest.
How long have you been married?
8 years.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you have any final words, thoughts, or shout-outs?
Big shout out to my family. Big shout out to my business partner, Anthony Moore. I feel like without him, we wouldn't be in this predicament that we're in now. My grandmother, my grandparents, bless their heart, I love them, I miss them. The ones that passed away before their time. It's with their spirit that I'm moving forward, and I know they'll watch it down on me, making sure that I'm staying focused, staying on the right path.
All right, well, unfortunately, that's our time, everyone. Thank you again for watching Black Man Working. We salute you. I'm your host, Leanna Davis. If you would like to be a guest on my show, or if you know someone who would like to be a guest on my show, you can contact me at info@ttenetwork.com. Once again, if you would like to be a guest on my show, or if you know someone who would be a great guest on my show, Black Man Working, you can call me, or rather email me, Leanna Davis, at info@ttenetwork.com. I'll see you next time on Black Man Working.